It's just occurred to me we really haven't had a completely successful test of this equipment.
I blame myself.
So do I.
Well, no sense worrying about it now.
Why worry? Each of us is wearing an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on his back.
Yeah. Now let's get ready. Switch me on. I don't think you're crazy.
Back off, man.
Hey, what is up, Ghostheads? It's another long-awaited edition of the Ghostheads Radio Show. Sorry we keep doing this, where I am not doing streams often. It's mainly just because things have been so crazy, things have been so busy, and it's hard to find time around family and events and school and dance recitals and just to find time to come over here and do this. But we have a fantastic show for you guys because I'm finally going to be talking all about my experience at the Bill Murray concert. A sentence I never thought I'd say, but Bill Murray, the legend himself, he was in my neck of the woods. He put on a show. I had no idea what to expect, and I'm going to talk about that in the second half of this episode. I'm also going to have a very special guest who I'm going to bring on in just a second. He's got a new Ghostbuster fan film that he's been working on. And if you've seen any of his other stuff out there, just know that the quality is going to be high. He takes it seriously. He's super creative. I'm going to introduce him in just a few seconds. And also, just real quick, want to give a shout out to the San Antonio Ghostbusters, my team and squad, who I've been a part of for many years now. We did a couple of things this week because it is the still early into the Fiesta Week here in San Antonio. Two big things you need to know is number one, we are going to be part of the Flambeau Parade on Saturday. That is Saturday, the May the 3rd. And if you are in San Antonio or in the surrounding areas, the Fiesta Flambeau Parade is the largest night parade in the U.S. At least it was as of last year. I'm pretty sure it still is this year. For more information, if you would like to attend, please go to flambeau.org. That's FLAMBEAU.org to find out about ticket information, the parade route itself. If you don't want to buy a seat for the parade, you don't need to do that. You can just show up, bring a chair, find an open spot, arrive early to do this, by the way, and plant yourself somewhere along the parade route. But it's going to be a great time. We cannot wait. There's allegedly around, I don't know, like over 500,000 people uh, along this parade route. It's a 3-mile route, and there's just masses and masses of people along this route. We're also going to be joined by hopefully some additional Texas Ghostbuster chapters who would like to participate. And if you do come out, bring some food or buy some of the food there. Bring some, water, stuff to keep yourself hydrated. We don't know exactly what the weather is going to be like on Saturday. And then bring some lights because it is the night parade. So light it up with some glow sticks, some battery powered lights. Just have a great time. And be sure to make the loudest noise when you see the Ghostbusters of San Antonio rolling down the street with our Ecto right behind us. We might have some, I'm not going to tease what it is, but we might have some stuff we're going to be throwing out to the crowd. So make the loudest noise, get our attention, and potentially you might get a little gift or surprise from the Ghostbusters of San Antonio. The second thing I really wanted to bring up is that we, for the first time, put together a Fiesta medal for our chapter, the Ghostbusters of San Antonio. We have been supporting the CASA group here in South Texas. The CASA group are the Child Advocates of San Antonio. We support their mission wholeheartedly. What they do is they guide and shepherd kids that are going through a traumatic experience through that are going through a judicial system with courts and lawyers, mainly because of some sort of neglect or abuse at the hands of relatives or parents. And the CASA group, they basically shield these kids. They help them through the process. They make sure that they're not alone going through any of this. It's a fantastic cause. They are fantastic people, and so our medals that we've been taking out to events here around San Antonio, we've been asking for donations for those medals, and San Antonio has been they've been pulling up and shelling out, man. They've been doing fantastic. So the the cool thing is, a lot of folks have been asking for medals. Do you have any more? Do you have any more? We haven't been able to make it out. We have a few left. All right. And I can't say where yet, exactly where or when, but we are talking to a retailer here in San Antonio where we can put the rest of the medals there. And that way you can go buy them while supplies last, when you have time, and that information should be coming out very soon. So, if you were one of the ones who've been asking, where are the medals? Where are the medals? Your opportunity to get a Ghostbusters of San Antonio medal. They look fantastic, by the way. Will be the information will be dropped soon on our social media channel. So follow the Ghostbusters SATX on Facebook primarily, and as soon as we can deliver the medals to the retailer, we'll let everybody know where you can find them, when they're open, all that good stuff. So that'll be happening very soon. All right. If you're watching, I want to know where you're watching from. So let me know. Say hi in the chat. Say what's up. It's good to see you guys again. It's been a long time since we've had a Ghostheads Radio show. So now to our first topic. This gentleman has been a longtime friend of mine. Super creative, super talented, super funny. He's a writer. He's a videographer. He's a video editor, and he's with the Virginia Ghostbusters team, who have been doing incredible work over the years. And we've had them and him on the show multiple times. But now he's got a brand new Ghostbusters fan film that he's dropping in just a few weeks. And he's here to talk about it with me now, from the Virginia Ghostbusters team, from the Report All Ghost social media page. Please welcome Jamie Hodges. What's going on, sir?
I'm back. I'm back on the show, live action.
Yes.
Steady told me this was going to be in 3D, so I decidedly didn't wear pants for this one. So look out. I got really excited. I was waiting backstage for you, and I was hearing about the really cool stuff that you and your Ghostbusters team are doing here recently. But I think I misunderstood you because you had talked about Fiesta metal, and I thought you were introducing the audience to a brand new genre of music that is just I mean, it's metal as you know it, but you might need Google Translate, because the only thing that I understood out of the entire album was Casa de Diablo, which I thought was a Taco Bell special. Turns out you guys are just making Ghostbusters coins.
Yeah, you know what? Are absolutely right. I don't know why I'm over here acting like everybody knows what the hell I'm talking about. So, real quick spiel. Every year in San Antonio for like 2 weeks, we shut everything down. We have live music every street corner you can imagine. We have vendors selling overpriced food. We drink beer. everywhere you can think of, and we decorate everything like it's Cinco de Mayo. That's probably the best way to explain it, but for 2 weeks long. It's a tradition of ours. We've been doing it for nearly a century.
Wow.
And one of the kind of the newer traditions that have been going on for the last, I don't know, few decades is everybody and their mother makes medals. Now, usually they started out kind of plain Jane and all that good stuff, but
Mhm.
people have been getting really creative with these things. They're themes now. They move. I have a few downstairs that I might go get later on from other businesses, but a lot of them are to support good causes. So charities, they
Oh,
actually sell these things, and in return they put all the profits towards, or all the proceeds towards their mission and their causes. So yeah, we made our own. You just you clip it on and good stuff,
mhm.
and I kid you not, it is addicting to people here in San Antonio. Okay? Like if you think you are a collector of toys or baseball cards or whatever, the
Everyone's got
exact
to have this medal.
everybody's got to have it. Yeah, there are like hot ticket items every year, and then you will go to these events. There's like events every day. There's like 2 dozen
Mhm.
events every single day in the city. And at these events, people show off their medals, like their badges of honor,
Wow.
and people will have sashes with
Mhm.
medals all the way down, 3-foot sashes, all the
So
way
it's like
medals
if
covering
you guys,
everything.
if I don't know if you're familiar with like the con culture for much larger cons, like say a Dragon Con, where there's the badge ribbons. You know what I'm talking about?
Badge ribbons. No, I did not know that.
See,
Wow.
see, that's interesting. Yeah, it reminds me of that because at Comic Con there is this thing where different groups or cosplayers, individuals, whatever, will design badge ribbons, and it's a really big thing to want to try to collect everyone's badge ribbons each year. And there's a video online of someone at Dragon Con from just this previous year who got they're up like on a balcony, like in the con hall or whatever, and they unleash their badge ribbon collection, and I swear the thing looks like a CVS receipt, but it's very much the same thing for anyone who might be trying to wrap their head around your metal culture, so to
Yeah.
speak. Yeah, that's interesting. That's very cool. So you party, you have a good time, you support a good cause, and you get your expensive street meats for 2 weeks.
For 2 whole weeks. For two
Wow,
whole
that's great.
weeks.
Well, I'm excited for you guys.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. This parade that I've been yapping about, it's no
Hmm.
joke. Last year the weather was not kind. We're in South Texas, so humidity was like through the roof. It's
Oof.
probably like 80 something degrees last
Mhm.
year.
I don't
And
do heat.
here's the worst part is the route
Mhm.
is 3 miles.
Oof, nope, I'm done.
The prep
See,
the,
that's why it's really, really good to be an ecto owner.
the preparation area, the staging area
Hmm.
is another like half mile to 3/4 miles added to it, because there's so many bands, organizations,
Hmm.
vehicles set up that we have to wait for all them to go, and then we follow them through. So just to get to the start of the
Yeah.
parade route is another half mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile added
Hmm.
to it. So all in all, it's 3.5 to 4 miles. And because I wanted to really push myself, I wore
Famous last words.
I wore my HasLab pack with the Alice frame. Everybody
Okay,
knows, HasLab pack with an Alice frame's roughly what, 15, 18 pounds
something like that.
altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was dying. I made
Yeah.
it, but I was dying. And everybody who was with us, we had folks from Austin that joined us.
Mhm.
Everybody survived, but I kid you not, like we were on the edge of just total collapse.
Well, you mentioned it earlier on during that great introduction, by the way, but I'm also a
Mhm.
member of Ghostbusters Virginia, and we've done our fair share of parades. I'm not entirely sure. We have a big one we do every year, and that's the Dominion Energy Christmas Parade. Really big deal here. I mean, everyone's got their Christmas parade, but long story short, it's funny because while everyone starts off ambitious, you'll see people come back every year, and each year they have a little bit less gear than they did the year before. But if you're on your fourth, fifth, it doesn't take very long before you're just wearing a ghost trap, and that's good enough.
That's good enough. And you know what it is? I figured this out. I
Mhm.
really don't think it was the HasLab pack. It's not the proton pack that's the worst part.
Mhm.
The worst part is that there are kids sitting on the ground on both
Right.
sides of the street. And
Oh,
so
a lot of
when
up
you
and down.
it's a lot of lunges.
Yeah.
I'm lunging to give them fives, high fives. You know what happens to your body when you're doing lunges for like a mile and a half? Your body's like, "Stop. We're done. This is
Not me.
over."
Absolutely not.
It was, oh my god, my legs were dead
I had to get a
afterwards.
I had to get a baggier suit at some point in time because of kids. Because I always make it a point, like at a con or something.
Yeah,
If a kid wants to take a picture, you got to get down on their level.
you
You
have
don't
to.
want to. Well, so I did a lunge at one point and had what I like to call a blowout. And for the rest of the day, and I'm not talking about like in my knees or anything. I'm talking about the suit. And so for
Yeah.
the rest of the day, I was standing with my legs very closely. But lunges are important, and I applaud you for being so ambitious because even Lewis Tully said you have to stay fit, keep sharp, make good decisions, and that's you, man. Model Ghostbuster, Ted over here.
I needed to test myself. Like,
Yeah.
it's my first. It wasn't our first parade, but it was the first parade of that magnitude, both
Mhm.
crowd size wise, both lengthwise. And so it's just like, look, I'm gonna either you go big or go home. And so
Right.
yeah, I survived. A lot of the folks on our team did not survive, but
We never
I
saw them again.
don't
They might
I
still be
don't
there.
blame them. They're still on the parade route from last year.
They're
They just
still
left them.
there.
And then a big shout out. I have to call this legend out every time I talk about this parade because we do have one guy on our team. His name is Scott. Call him Scotty.
Mhm.
He has the most gorgeous proton pack because he literally put it together out of metal. So it is a
Wow.
1-for-1 metal proton pack. He
Mhm.
did the fabricating all himself. The thing weighs 45 pounds.
He enjoys pain,
He
is
enjoys
what I'm
pain.
hearing.
And so anytime he puts on the pack, we're just in awe of this man. It's just like we are not worthy to be in your presence because you're willing to do that.
We're not worthy.
And he
Yeah.
wore that pack for the entire route.
Wow.
And I'm just like, there is no bigger legend in on our team that I can anyone else I've heard of doing anything that crazy.
Mhm.
And so shout out to Scotty, who I'm sure he's not gonna wear the 45-pound pack this time around. But
Lessons learned.
got some folks in the chat. Maddie saying Wahoo! Rob's in the chat saying here from San Antonio, Texas. You better be at the parade on Saturday, sir. Christian Cortez says Jamie Hodges is the man that he is. Valentin Perales, the Houston team is present. What's going on, sir? Good to see you here. Good to see you. And now let's go ahead and get into why you're here, sir, because you've been doing videos and short films, all Ghostbusters related, for quite some time. Your Report Our Ghost channel is incredible. I love your style of writing. You've been keeping fans up to date, up to speed on news and events and everything else you can imagine in the Ghostbusters universe.
I've been
And now you've em-
slacking. That's what
and
I've
now
been
you
doing.
you've embarked on this. I'm gonna say, is this an ambitious fan film for you? Like how much are you pushing yourself doing this film? Like production wise, time wise, editing and all that. Is this like the most ambitious project you've ever done?
Oh, I'm not working very hard on this at all. Are you kidding me? No. Um, all said and done, this isn't my first rodeo,
Right.
which isn't a bragging thing so much as it is a every project that I do, I like to take as a learning experience because
Mm,
every one is just going to be better than the last one. And I started doing like Ghostbusters fan films back in like 2009. I was fresh out of high school with my best friend Matt, who I like to call my hetero life mate. Um, we had already been making films together because, again, this is high school, so we lived on the same street. We'd known each other since like middle school, and fresh out of high school, I had been putting together this crazy idea for a Ghostbusters movie, which is titled Ghostbusters Hellbent. And the whole mentality of this young buck wannabe filmmaker was that, well, if Sony's not going to do Ghostbusters 3, somebody's got to do it.
Right.
Which is really, really ambitious. Just talking about like most ambitious projects and stuff like that, because it's not fantastic. It's a product of its time, first of all, because in 2009, YouTube was still relatively fresh. And this is going to date me. Old man shouts at cloud. The highest resolution at that time that you were even allowed to upload to YouTube was only 720.
Oh,
And
man.
that was like, man, I can't believe I can watch a 720p video on my
It
computer.
looks
Are
amazing.
you kidding me? Which
Yeah.
sucks now, because at some point in time, again, keeping in mind this is a film we put out in 2009 originally, we went back and digitally remastered it, because the first time we edited it, we had captured it. This is going to get technical for a second.
Sure.
We had captured it analog, essentially, like
Wow.
audio video,
Yeah.
with a device called a dazzle. So you had to hook your computer to your camera somehow. But then, of course, we could go back and capture it digitally. So we remastered the movie, but remastered by 2025 standards is still only 720p. So, I mean, it looks like a movie made in 2009 by a couple of kids fresh out of high school. That being said, I mean, it still blows me away that we did as much as we did. Like, we thought we could get away with murder, and we did, which was amazing, because we had actually rented out a theater, which is a really big deal here in Richmond. It's a historical landmark
Oh, wow.
called the Bird Theater in downtown Richmond. We were maybe like 20, 21 years old. We rented out the theater for the day, and we showed our film on the big screen. So that was our first like big world premiere. And then that same day, I had known him for a long time, Dan Harshman, who a lot of people in the Ghostbusters community will know. But we had only talked through GB fans, like the message boards, because that's how you like networked back then, really, before there was like Facebook or anything. But I had met Dan Harshman for the first time at that premiere. He had driven up to see it. And that, while Dan had operated under Ghostbusters Virginia for maybe a year or two before that, and maybe even a little bit longer, but that was the first time Ghostbusters Virginia was as close as it was to being like a team. And now, of course, in the year 2025, Ghostbusters Virginia is like well over 100 members deep across the entire state of Virginia,
Dear
Chesapeake.
God.
We kind of branch out a little into like DC and Maryland. It's pretty nuts. It's way out of my hands. I don't know who any of these people are. But anyway, so we had done Ghostbusters Hellbent in 2009. We started a web series at some point, Ghostbusters Richmond Division, and then also did, I think, like a holiday special or something like that. So this will be closer to my fourth or fifth cinematic style Ghostbusters project. Meanwhile, as you had mentioned, I do my best to pump out some really cool original content for the community to enjoy on a semi-regular basis. I've been slacking recently, but it's because of the project that we're here to talk about today. I have poured all of my free man hours into this for the better part of the past 6 months. And as of this past week, it's done. It's finally complete, and we're coming up on a release date. So I want to talk about it.
Fantastic. And Hetero Life Mate is in the chat right now, Matt
That's
Adams.
right, Hetero Life Mate. And then also, I mean, because we're still like best friends to this day, and he is actually the co-director. I brought him out of retirement because he's very adamant, rightfully so, that under our duo banner where we work on films and stuff together, he would like to tackle completely original projects, you know, so like no fan films. He's been adamant about that for some time. However, this isn't under that banner. This is for Report All Ghosts. So I dug him out of retirement to help me work on a Ghostbusters project, and it was a lot of fun.
I bet it is, and I can't wait because I've loved your videos, man, all the time.
I appreciate that.
They're so original. They're shot impeccably. There's always a little bit of wit and humor in it. You're so damn clever. It's annoying how clever you are. And Matt, Matt's are good friends to have. Let's just say that.
That's right. You've got your own Matt. Everyone's got to have a Matt.
I got my own Matt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wishes he could be here right now, but he's so busy. He's getting, I think I can say this, he's getting married in a month.
I thought that happened already.
No,
See,
no.
I was already that was already his getaway card. And if he wasn't here tonight, I was going to be upset. I am upset. If he's watching, I need him to know that because I miss him. But I was like, but he just got married, he's doing the adult life thing. And now you're here to tell me that's been his excuse for how long?
A good while.
Hold up. How long does it take, Ted?
It's not gonna be a tiny wedding. It's not gonna be a tiny wedding. Let's just say that. Okay. He's a rock star, and his wife to be is equally of a rock star. So he's just making sure that it's gonna be the absolute best and perfect thing for her. But yeah,
we're happy for our boy. Let's make that clear.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jamie found my loophole.
We've been best friends for a long time.
All right, so before we get to specifics, and we're gonna share some footage from the fan film. Tell folks first off when it's dropping. When is it dropping?
Well, we decided May 16th. We really wanted to try and squeeze it out in April because our film does deal with a particular subject matter that would be very fitting for the fact that April is National Poetry Month.
Ooh.
So, but we did also have from my very good friends at Ghostbusters Virginia another fan film that released just recently, Don't Make Me Laugh, which if you haven't seen it yet, you absolutely must. Was of course featured recently on all sorts of different pages. If you haven't heard about it, you're probably living under a rock. But that being said, they've had a very successful premiere and drop. So just so that people don't get confused or fatigued, because people talk about superhero fatigue all the time. I think just as easily, like there's sometimes where I'm scrolling Facebook and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how many fan films? How many can you do? How many are coming out? And sometimes it's a lot. So I'm trying to, out of respect for my fellow filmmakers and close friends, as well as just the fans, let it breathe a little bit. But yes, it will be dropping May 16th, which I think it's about 3 weeks away, something like that.
Little over 2 weeks, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So super soon. Still, it's done. I'm sitting on it. It's steaming right under me right now. I'd love for you guys to see it. I'm so dang excited.
And you've called it or named it Two in the Box after the HasLab fundraiser project that they came out with. But knowing you, there's probably something, a little secondary definition that you're going with, right? Do you want to tell folks why you called it Two in the Box, or they have to watch it to find out?
No, there's multiple reasons, and it's really important that you mentioned the HasLab because this is a clever project that not necessarily this one, but in general that was thought up when the Spengler Proton Pack came out. I had done. It took me a little while longer than others to get some, and when you're working in, and you know just as well, when you're working in our particular field of journalism, there's always this sort of race to be first to something. And if you're not first, you're last, right?
Right.
So by the time sometimes you get stuff, there's already 20, 30 other unboxing videos, right? So I still wanted to do an unboxing video because, of course, it's what I do. Ghostbusters original content. I want to support Hasbro and everything cool that they've provided and will hopefully continue to provide for us. So I still wanted to show off the pack, but like, how could I do that and not do an unboxing? So I did something which has been cleverly dubbed a cinematic unboxing video. And that you can see currently on the YouTube because the pack came out, probably like 2 years ago already.
Sounds about right.
Excuse me. And that one's called Discover the Past. And that, while the current film Two in the Box is a fun little inspired but original story, Discover the Past was not only to show off a really cool toy that I got, but was also an ode to Afterlife and Jason Reitman, because my goal with that one also was to do as much as I could to replicate shots exactly from the film. So much so that there's one, and I'm not going to explain it,
Okay.
but there's one that makes zero sense because because in my film, of course, I'm finding the pack and I got to go out in the field and test it out, right? Well, in Afterlife, there is another individual present. Phoebe is testing it with podcast. In my film, it's just me, because this was, I didn't have anyone else on hand for that one, but I still wanted to make it happen. So I'm out in the field testing this pack and I'm wearing it. And suddenly I have to cut to that close up of the Ion arm where podcast would reach in and flick on the switch. There is no podcast. I'm wearing the pack, but somewhere a hand still comes into frame and flips on the proton pack. It doesn't make sense, but in the sequence of things, I still completed my task in making it an ode to Afterlife. So anyway, while this one continues the tradition of being a cinematic sort of unboxing video, because now my goal is to show off these really cool props that they've put all this effort into in a cinematic setting, which is interesting because since Afterlife came out, several Hasbro packs at least were used on the set for Frozen Empire. So now it's not even, cheaping out so much as like Hollywood commonplace.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to show them off in a cinematic setting. So yes, the Two in the Box title does refer to the HasLab because those are the two primary gadgets that we're using throughout. But yes, there is also a double meaning. And I mean, that's not hard to defer. If you know where the name Two in the Box comes from, you know that the Busters were battling more than one ghost. So this particular situation that our Busters are walking into might just be too hot to handle. You see what I did there?
Too hot to handle, too cold to something.
Oh, was I supposed to finish that? I thought. Hold, please.
All right. So that being said, you do have something kind of special to show the folks at home, and that is the Two in the Box Ghostbusters fan film teaser. Now, you did drop this a few months ago, but for anybody who's watching now who hasn't seen it, what we're going to do is watch it all together and then talk about it afterwards. So, again, for anyone who hasn't seen it, here is the Two in the Box fan film teaser.
We're good at what we do. We shouldn't be here all night. It's not an Airbnb.
I always feel like somebody's watching me. Who's watching? Tell me who's watching?
More like a scare B&B. Am I right?
But
There you have it. The teaser trailer for the Two in the Box fan film from Jamie Hodges, Matt Adams, dropping May 16th And I'm sure it's going to be on the channel, correct? So what's the official channel name? Report All Ghosts?
I guess just report all ghosts.
Report All Ghosts with an exclamation point at the end of it. There you go. If you're in the chat, let us know how epic that looked. It looks dramatic. It looks intense. I love the special effects.
Such
Looks
a
like it's
tease.
shot impeccably again.
Who edited that thing? It tells me nothing. I know nothing.
We know that they're mean. We know that.
They are mean.
They are very mean.
How many Easter eggs could you find? If anyone doesn't know, and I've gotten one really, really good compliment about it. I think it was on YouTube or someone messaged me personally. That is the trailer sort of voice from the original teaser for Ghostbusters. This was before they had like the known movie trailer voice. It's just like some old British guy, like ghosts. They're real. They're here. They're mean. Supposed to get you spooked. Who's gonna help us? It's the ghost. In case you didn't know, it was the Ghostbusters. But that's probably the only teaser we'll put out, because the thing is, this is not a very long film, and that was done intentionally. This is to service. You got some feedback on your end?
Talking to me?
Yeah, talk to me.
No. You said say it again.
The intention for this one absolutely is to just like tickle your brain. You know, it's only about 12 minutes long, and it drops you right into the action. I have described it as half of a real Ghostbusters episode with little to no exposition.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah.
I love the song choice in there because I forget the artist's name, but that 80s song, Somebody's Watching Me. I've never heard that version of it, and it's so intense and hardcore. It's heavy, and I actually really, it's kind of a thing that I do, is I like to listen to 80s pop songs that have been converted into like a metal version. And so as soon as that hit, like my ears perked up. I'm like, oh my God, I love this.
Well, I wanted to go with some of that recognition, and then also just stick with the 80s aesthetic or vibe that Ghostbusters comes out of. And so that being said, I have looked at other. I'm glad you like the music, because if I do another trailer, that's kind of the vibe I'm writing right now. But again, this trailer or this short's only 12 minutes long. If I show you guys too much, you will have already seen 1/3 of the movie before it comes out. So let's save some surprises.
Valentine is in the chat giving you some kudos here. Ghostbusters SATX. I don't know who they are, but they sound really cool. Can't wait to see it. Looks really good. Maybe we can have a movie night. We'll have our own little San Antonio premiere, and I think that'll be pretty awesome. You know what? This just makes
with friends. It might be a little spooky.
Ooh, I hope so. This just makes so much sense. Two in the Box, a Ghostbusters story. Like, Sony, why are you not doing these sort of one-offs? Calling things a Ghostbusters story that spin-offs from, the main timeline. It just makes so much sense. And I hope that, we get to that level of like fandom where we can just hear and see things that they don't have to be tied to, the main plots, and movies don't always have to be, or the projects don't always have to be this big grandiose sort of arc that it's always like a earth-shattering level event. Sometimes you just want a self-contained story within the Ghostbusters universe, and that's okay too. And this looks like one of those things. So yeah, cannot wait to see it, man. Kudos to you. I know it's going to be amazing because you're amazing. And shout out to Matt in the chat, who says, best way to watch something is alone in the dark with headphones on.
You can do what you want with that information.
I'm actually going to say no, that is not the best. I watch a lot of these like B level movies. It's not a flex. we get sent movies because we review them for our channel and our website. And so I'm watching these things, and some of these can be intense. And so yeah, I'm watching them at night. I put headphones on so I don't freak out my family. And then my dog, my mutt, will just come right up and like
You're like,
rub my
"Jeez."
leg at the wrong time, and yeah, I'm having a heart attack. And at my age, I should not be getting that spooked or whatever because it's kind of dangerous. So yeah,
Too old
dude,
to be spooked.
too old to be spooked on that level. Absolutely, absolutely. Dude, I love it. The quality's great. It looks incredible. I cannot wait to see it, man. May 16th cannot come soon enough. And if you're not already following Report All Ghosts across social media, I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and do that because Jamie's one of the best Ghostbuster journalists around, probably second to none. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that myself. I enjoy his writing. I enjoy his aesthetic, his style, and his humor. Just all around great individual.
That
So go
sounds like a
ahead.
really cool guy. You guys, if I want to go follow him right now.
I will too. Just kidding. Oh
Whatever.
man. Yeah, so stick around, Jamie, because the only thing left I got to do is well, actually, let's say this. Any final things you would like for folks to know about the project, anything coming up, even with the Virginia group? What do you guys get going on?
Oh, there's a lot of really cool. Well, at least I don't know how long they're gonna go with it, but they started this really cool thing, and there's still time to check it out this year. Um, it's called Proton Pets, and it's kind of another national initiative inspired, which you're more than familiar with, by the New York Ghostbusters International Toy Drive. And the idea was because, of course, that does very, very well during the holidays,
Yeah.
but there's not really a, a springtime equivalent for something like that. So, a good cause that I think everyone can get behind because guys had done something just recently with a pet shelter, correct? Then it was
Yeah.
at the barbecue place.
Barbecue place. Ernie became an ambassador for a food pet organization,
Mhm.
and they provide food to no-kill shelters across the U.S. And Ernie is the newest ambassador to the team, and we went crazy when he arrived, and they made tens of thousands for the
Wow.
organization. So yeah, it was a great event, a weekend of events that he
Oh, that's
participated
right.
in.
Yeah. Well, they're doing something very much in line with that, which I think everyone can agree with. Is everyone, whether you're a dog person, a cat person, dogs and cats living together, mass
Mass
hysteria.
hysteria.
Um, I think we can all agree that we want pets to do well. So there are shelters. They get a lot of food. That's like the first thing that people think of. However, there are a lot of other supplies that go into like just keeping pets healthy and happy. And so Ghostbusters Virginia, of course, started doing it locally, but also invited other franchises to participate in it nationally. So if you want to be involved, you still can. They might continue it a little bit longer. But as part of that initiative, not only going to local shelters and organizing to collect these supplies, they also have some really cool patches and stickers, which were designed in house by one of our artists in the group named Bridget. They're super, super cute. You can grab some to help, contribute to the cause, and all of the money will go towards purchasing supplies to give to some of our local shelters. And this is just their first year. It's something that I hope that we as a group continue to do. And they were promoting that heavily at the premiere of the other Ghostbusters fan film that came out just recently. So it's been doing really, really well, but we'd like to see it do bigger. And if people want to come out and help, they're always welcome. So definitely check out what's going on at Ghostbusters Virginia. In regards to the two in the box, we're just excited to put it out because at my heart personally, I have and always will be a filmmaker. Of course, I'm doing social media content. Um, you got a question in the chat. Is the film going to be part of the third annual Ghostbusters Day fan film marathon hosted by the Real Ohio Ghostbusters?
What a setup.
It's very interesting that you ask that. Ghostbusters of who that's South San Antonio, Texas.
Never heard of.
Because
Yeah.
no, I just was talking to the Real Ohio Ghostbusters the other day, and yes, this will be part of the upcoming or the third annual Ghostbusters Day. I guess they stream it. I know it's on local television where they are, and it'll also be streamed online. So we're very excited to be part of that for the first time because we wanted to try with our other film, Discover the Past, but I think every time I just jumped on a little bit too late. So we'll be getting in on that. And then there's also a Ghostbusters Day celebration going on in the UK on Ghostbusters Day proper, where, of course, that's for people who can't hop on a plane and come to the US for New York. Because that is, we're fortunate, some of us, me particularly, in that I live on the East Coast. So that's just like a 7-hour drive for me. But for other people, that's like a vacation. So, but they are doing a really cool celebration over there where they will also be screening fan films as well as a ton of other events. So if you happen to have any listeners on that side of the pond, check that out because Two in the Box will be in that film festival as well. So we're very excited. While it's exclusively premiering on YouTube, this will make its way onto several other sized screens.
I love it. It makes sense to me. Why? Of course, it's going to be part of that fan film.
We're
And
also doing it in Smell-O-Vision if anyone's interested. I don't know if people are still into that.
They provide a link for groups that are not in the area to stream it.
There you go.
All
I thought
right.
it was something like that because I will most certainly be watching. There's a lot of really cool fan films returning and new. So, if you haven't seen any of them yet and just feel like teasing yourself and binging what looks to be over 10 hours of Ghostbusters fan films, if you just want to dedicate a day to that, you can do so. June 6th, I think it is. They're doing it the Friday before Ghostbusters Day proper.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say too much about it, but Ghostbusters Day for anybody in the San Antonio or Texas area, we are working on something new this year.
Ooh.
Working with a venue who we've not had the pleasure of working with before, and it's one of those places where there's a lot of flexibility and this week we're having discussions and talks to see what can be done, and if everything works out we'll be announcing something probably in the next few weeks regarding Ghostbusters Day on June the 8th. And all you Texas groups who've been asking about what we're going to do, stand by and we'll let you guys know very soon. Also, the Ghostbusters Speakeasy that we were telling folks was going to be taken down from our local Kung Fu Saloon. It's still there.
That was a
They
sentence right there. The Ghostbusters speak easy at our what? Say it again.
local Kung Fu Saloon.
Local Kung Fu Saloon. Okay, just making sure I heard you right.
We were told it was going to be taken apart and taken down and shipped off in the fall, late fall. And lo and behold, corporate said, "No, you guys have the best location in the U.S., the busiest location, the most popular location in the U.S." And they said, "No, you're going to keep it." And so it's still there. So we're gonna maybe look into having an after party or something at the Kung Fu Saloon. They always go crazy for Ghostbusters Day. We had a blast there last year, and they also do the Ghostbusters themed drinks, which the old fashioned they call it the toasted marshmallow man. It's an old fashioned with a literally toasted marshmallow on top of it, and it's
Wow.
absolutely to die for. I absolutely love it. So yeah, shout out to that team out there at Kung Fu Saloon. They're amazing.
Can I get a counter on the screen? How many times Ted says Kung Fu Saloon?
Ding. Yes. All right. Let's see. So Two in the Box fan film, May 16th. Be sure to check it out. I'm sure we'll have Jamie on afterwards so we can discuss it. and get all into that. I would love to do that. So
I'll be sure to explain myself. Sorry.
last thing I want to do is quickly talk about my experience with a gentleman who we all know and love, and I'm trying to get a photo up, but it's not working, so I might not do that. Let's try a different way. Bill Murray. Bill Murray was in Austin, Texas. A lot of folks already know he was touring with a band or a group called the Blood Brothers, and they had what, roughly a dozen shows maybe on their schedule. Austin just happened to be one of them, and so me and three of the Ghostbusters of San Antonio, three team members of mine, we made the trek up to Austin. We were fortunate enough to also be a part of the meet and greet, which I'll talk about first. And if anybody, I know the Rob's in the chat for the team. If you want to say anything about the experience, please do, Rob. Here's what I would recommend to folks, and I told myself to do this, but I forgot. Imagine yourself already talking to Bill before you go up to him and like play out the scenario in your head, like the things you really want to say to Bill. You need to go ahead and think about it, play the whole thing out, or write it down, because once you're there in his presence, all thoughts go out the window, and he's the most charming man on the planet. He's so funny and comical. As soon as he put his hand out to say, "Hey, how's it going?" No words came out. I was like, "Hey, Bill, nice to meet you." And then during this meet and greet, we're also in front of the rest of the band mates who are with him, and there's like five of them next to him. So I'm over here like, "Hey, hey, 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 hey," shaking hands everywhere. So that was also a little distracting. But that's fine. But got a chance to take a photo with the legend. It was great. It was the second time that I've actually had the opportunity to meet him in person. And for anybody who says like, "Oh, Bill this, Bill that, or heard this, or whatever else," or I don't know what folks are talking about when they say kind of negative things about altercations or running into him. He's been so damn charming on multiple times that I think people are not meeting the real Bill. But in this setting, at this event, he was nothing but lovely. So let's get to the show itself. I have a little bit of a long story that I'll try and make really short. So we had purchased. Then let's get Dan out. Oh, what? Let's
So your
get Dan.
Ghostbusters Day thing.
Oh, interesting. You still aren't gonna say it. I don't know which part you're talking about. I'm not following. I'm trying to organize my thoughts here for a second.
Ted's trying to tell a story.
So we had purchased balcony tickets. The meet and greet was extra charge. So like, now let's just balcony tickets. And so we did that. Luckily, it was at this place called the Paramount Theater, which is a really fancy theater in downtown Austin. And I'm very familiar with it. I've been there a lot. So about midway through the show, I decided I'm going to leave my balcony seat and I'm going to go down to the floor level, and I'm going to see what's going on down there. This is kind of the weird part of the story, but it just stay with me here. Austin is Bill's like stomping grounds. If you don't already know, he hangs out there all the time. It's not unlikely to catch him behind a bar serving drinks just on a random night somewhere, because he also is affiliated with the Chive. They do a lot of stuff together. The Chive is entertainment media website here in Texas or in Austin, and I think Bill's merchandise golf company is also either they got a some locations here or something like that. So the William Murray Golf Merchandise Group, he reserved like 60 seats on the bottom floor, and they didn't fill them, which is not unusual. So let's just say I went down to the floor and I noticed there's all these there's some empty seats lying around. So I left my balcony seat and I decided I'm going to stick around the floor area now. So I got a really nice seat up kind of close, row 7, 8, and we'll talk about the William Murray Golf group, they tried, they reserved a lot, and I think they should have, not a criticism, they should have done a better job letting folks know or trying to sell these tickets that didn't get taken up, just because it felt like there was too much of an open area down there in the center there. Either way, the rest of the show is great. The band is killing it. Bill, he sounds good. He's having a good time. He's really passionate. He's getting into it. I've posted some clips from him singing, and you'll notice the passion and the energy that he's putting into the songs. The crowd, however, abysmal, just stone, not moving, not engaged, not anything. And I it was a travesty. I've been a part-time musician for the last 20 years, and I'm a student of music. Like that's my passion, more than anything else. And so to kind of witness what was happening on stage and the crowd not reciprocating the energy and everything else was just a travesty. And so from that moment, I was just like, I will not let this stand. And so my two of our friends from the Ghostbusters San Antonio group, they were in the second row, Chris and Rob. So I go over to sit next to them because Rob has an empty seat next to him. And so another song plays, and I kind of look over at Rob, and I'm just like, this crowd is dead. This is terrible. It's horrifying. It's horrific. We need to do something. And both Rob and Chris were like, what are you talking about? Anyways, I tried to build some energy, right? So in between songs, the band would stop and then people would clap. And so it went from clapping in our chairs to now we're standing up between songs. Yeah. We did that like 2 more times. We stood up and clapped. The very final time, I look over to Rob and I elbow him and I said, "Don't sit down. Don't sit down." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "We need to get these people up." So I start tapping shoulders of people around me, like, "Hey, get up, get up, get up. Hey, get up, get up, get up." I turn around and I'm just waving. I'm flailing my arms now. Get up, people. I'm in an auditorium that seats roughly 1,100 people. And
Wow.
so I'm flailing my arms. Get the hell up. I wave. I'm like, it's Bill Murray. Like, what did you come here for? If you weren't gonna like give the man his the respect and the attention he deserves.
And just out of curiosity, real quick, what's the age demographic of this crowd?
Old.
Old? No, zero hesitation. Old.
I mean,
Old.
and that I don't mean to be so
No, I kind of suspected as much. That's why I asked.
yeah, I mean
There's old, and then there's just the nerds.
we were the young whippersnappers of the event.
Wow.
It was not odd, but I don't really know what to make of it. We were the youngest ones. Either way, the weird, it got weird for a second. This is all happening in like the span of 20 seconds, right? The whole like get up, get up. This very large gentleman behind me taps me on the shoulder kind of very firmly and says, "Hey, knock that stuff off." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "If you want to stand up, you do that in the aisle." I am a lover, not a fighter. I also don't like confrontations, but I'm also a smartass. So I'm in a live concert venue setting. So I was like pretending not to hear him. "What was that?" I was like, "Hey," and that sort of pissed him off. So he tried to get out of his chair, but he's a very tall guy. He's like 6 something. And so he could not get out of his chair quick enough before I skedaddled to the front row. And I turned to look, and now, thanks to my efforts, but most importantly, Rob, who was sitting next to me, the entire auditorium is on their feet. People are cheering their hearts out. They're clapping, they're dancing. For the last 3 songs, it was pure bliss. And it should have been that way from the get-go. Like the band was on point. They were playing the hell out of these songs. They were playing it's all covers. It's all popular tunes from like the late 60s, early 70s. It's sort of I guess Bill's favorite playlist is probably what it sounds like. It's everything from like
Bill,
Bob
Bill's
Dylan to the
Spotify.
Rolling Stone. See what?
Bill's Spotify.
Exactly, his Spotify playlist. And so for the last three songs, it was what it was meant to be, and it's almost sad that it took that long for folks to snap out of it. It's almost like they wanted permission to have a good time. How sad is that?
Wow.
Because once everybody was on their feet, you could hear the roar. You can hear just the pure joy that was coming out of the audience. I mean, they were acting like it was Mardi Gras after that. It was wild. And I part of it was because I saw how it needed to be done. You're at a concert, the band's killing it, and it's almost like you could feel the crowd wanting to do something. Like they wanted to get into it. All they needed was just something to like give them permission. Yeah, you go forward, have a good time. You're not going to hurt anybody. But the second part of it was just like Bill deserves it. And if you don't know what that means, or if you don't care to know, it's just like this is a guy in his 70s. He's not a musician, right? Let's just go ahead and say that out loud. And he decided to embark on this endeavor like late in his career to
That's
go on.
ambitious.
Right, exactly. And so for him to be that, it's going to sound weird, but brave, right? Not, and for anyone who thinks that's too extreme, it's like you jump on a stage in front of 1,200 people and sing songs for 2 hours and let me know how you do your first time around. If you kill it, great. But I've been playing for 20 years and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. You put your heart and soul into these performances, or else why are you even doing it? So,
Well, what's awesome also is that we're talking about Bill Murray. He doesn't care if it's good, but he wants to sing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Which I think is the best possible attitude any entertainer can have. It's like,
Yeah.
don't care. Just do it because you want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could tell that it meant something, because even songs where like he was singing a Bob Dylan tune, I think it's like a Rolling Stone, and I've heard Bob Dylan's version, and everybody knows Bob Dylan's very subdued. He's got his tiny voice. Bill's yelling. Bill is giving it his all. Like he's trying to like command his troops to battle. Like that's how intense he kind of did some songs at some parts. And it was both interesting, a little odd, but that just told me, coming from the artist musician side of it, that he was really trying to get something across that he probably couldn't do any different way, because why else would he go that hard and for those things in songs where there's not that much energy into it, where there's not that much passion? He was giving it 110%. I'm just like, wow, that's really something. It was inspiring. So all that to say, the crowd got on their feet. It turned out to be an incredible night at that point, and I give him the respect he deserves, because it's not easy to get on stage and do that for that long. To do a tour is even worse. That's why I would not travel far whenever I would play with different bands that I was in. Um, it's tough. It's tough being on the road. It sucks.
Is that still ongoing? Is that tour happening?
You know what? I do know for a fact that he has a few dates in the summer. At least what his guitar player posted some dates, and there's at least 2 in June. One of them is at Red Rocks up in near Denver, Colorado. So for you folks in Denver, Bill Murray is coming to town, and Red Rocks is the most immaculate venue in the world. It's also scary because it's like 500 feet above the ground, like not sea level. Like the venue is in a mountain, and you
That's
have to
insane.
drive up, and then you have to walk up the mountain to get in. And if you just happen to slip, or somebody pushes you while you're walking into the venue, there's nothing but 500 feet of air between you and the ground. So that's not an exaggeration. I was just like, this is the wildest way to enter into a live music venue, with this skinny little railing right next to me and nothing below it.
And
I've
then
never been.
you have to battle the Grand Master in order to get a seat.
Yeah. So, and it's also a mile high. So it's good. It's tough. It's tough to do that on that stage. Musicians know that it's tough to do it. There's less oxygen up there, so you really can't go crazy. I worry for Bill. You can't really drink a whole lot because there's less oxygen. You really can't, exhaust too much energy, or else you'll get exhausted. You might pass out. Rob, who was also there with me, who was next to me, Bill poured his heart out when he sings. He's so passionate. Absolutely. So yeah, it was a sight to behold
Maybe he
watching.
was singing that loud for you because he saw you up the stands being Kevin Bacon in Footloose.
That
He's
was
like,
my
"This guy really
calling.
wants it."
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like being Kevin Bacon in Footloose. Absolutely. Yeah, good time. If you get a chance, whoever's watching, if you get a chance to see him, why wouldn't you? I'm not a big fan of all the songs, but I recognize like half of them, and the band played them well. Like they're all top notch musicians. I don't even know how he pulled them together, because it kind of seems like all these guys do their own thing in like different states. So the fact that he brought them all together to kind of do this, it was really impressive. It's mostly like blues, but it's also late '60s, early '70s, so it's like kind of folksy at times, bluesy at times, and there's some songs where they play them in a completely different tempo and arrangement than you're used to. So it's really fascinating. I really enjoy the kind of the details and the creativity that goes into not only song selection, but in the format or the manner that you play songs that are well known. That's what I get excited about. That's what's nerdy about me and music, is the decisions that artists make for a variety of reasons. So yeah, if you have the opportunity, do not miss it. Go check out Bill while he's still on the road. Um, I saw 2 dates. There might be more. So go to William Murray Golf. It probably has the dates on there. If not,
When I think the Blood Brothers post a lot on Instagram.
they
Also.
do. Yeah, they do have their own. So go check out the Blood Brothers. It might also be Bill Murray and the Blood Brothers on
I think
Instagram.
so.
Yeah, check that out. I got a really cool shirt. They did like a custom
Yeah.
shirt for the Austin show. And then they also gave out these really sweet posters that were free for the meet and greet, but also they gave them out they were out for sale.
Oh wow!
Boom. I need to frame this bad boy.
Did you get him to scribble on that?
Unfortunately, autographs were not allowed during the meet and
Oh
greet,
man!
which was odd. Which is odd. Look,
A
we made it.
little. Well, at least
Came all this way.
like they should have at least let you do the poster. Like no bring-in items, but so that way we're not just talking stuff on eBay.
Right. No, exactly. I can imagine that's probably part of it. I am lucky enough to say that I do have one item signed by Bill.
Wow!
He I have a Funko. It's the Firehouse. It's here somewhere. I have the Firehouse, the Hook and Ladder 8, and I got Ernie to sign it a long time ago, and I told myself, like, I'm gonna get the whole team to sign this Firehouse. So now I have 2 out of 3 because I got Bill to sign it last year at a different event in Austin. So Dan, I'm coming for you, Dan. Just
It's a
need you to
threat.
send this firehouse.
So you already got the hardest one out of the way, right?
I feel
Because
like it.
I don't have a Bill Murray signature, but I do have a Bill Murray handshake, and I'll take that.
You take anything you can, man. I
You
have.
have to. With the Hurricane, it's
Yeah.
one and done. Well, not one and done. You've been lucky enough to meet him a few times. This is not your first Bill Murray rodeo. Because you saw
No.
literally rodeo. Because didn't you see him like at a rodeo?
So it was so weird. It was so random. He had these NFTs out. Again, this was a venture that was in partnership with the Chive. They have uh, I don't know, a sister company or whatever that just manages NFTs. And so Bill has like 100 NFTs out there. And so this was a Bill Murray NFT party, which I don't own any Bill Murray NFTs. But he was in Texas and I wasn't going to miss it. So we paid a partial full ticket price. I'm not going to say what it is, but let's just say it's
I
more
don't know.
it's more than most convention prices with an autograph and a photo op combined. Let's just say it's around that number. And so in my mind, I was just like, you know what? It's worth it when you kind of put it compare it to that. So either way, it was Bill in a different setting. It was an outdoor party. There were activities like axe throwing, and who knew Bill's an actually badass axe thrower. Um, the man could do it all. So it was really cool because it was themed by different movies that he had been a part of in his career, and there was a live band, and Bill would just walk around, and I think that's what sometimes people miss is that when they see Bill, it's on a red carpet or it's at something very formal. This was not formal by any means. It was just a big party. And so you got to witness Bill in this environment where he just kind of let loose and he got to make fun of people and he got to control a mechanical bull and people would fall off and he would like hunch over holding his belly. He was laughing so hard
This is
at
his
people.
natural habitat.
Right, exactly. And so we were lucky just to kind of not only see him but see him in such a informal setting where he just kind of let loose and he kind of felt he could be himself. There wasn't like paparazzi or like media cameras anywhere. So he was just chilling. He was on a horseback for like 30 minutes, just walking around, and people got a kick out of that. He just kind of did whatever he felt like doing. There was no like regiment what he was supposed to do. He wasn't supposed to do anything specific. He did have a Q&A. I posted all of those on TikTok, and so if you want to see, there's some really great stories from Bill at that event. But yeah, that was actually close to a year ago when that happened, and so it was really cool to not only to be there but kind of meet him in an informal setting. It wasn't a convention. There was no lines to wait in. It was both exciting and also kind of anxiety induced just because you didn't know what was going to happen or like what to expect or if you were going to get any time or chance to meet him. So there were some pros and cons, right?
Or if
Like
you were going to be his next target.
if Bill Murray points at you and says, "Get on the bull," you're supposed to get on the bull.
You're next.
Uh,
Okay.
TMNT Fangirl says, "Hi, hello, Teenage Mutant Ninja Fangirl. How are you?" So yeah, and you know what? You bring that up, and it just goes to kind of show that this Bill, I think we need to talk about more. He's being a lot more open, right? The last 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years, I'd say he's doing more projects. He's getting out to the public more. He's doing more events. Now he's going on a concert tour, a live concert tour. Like I don't know what maybe has gotten into him, but I feel like he understands he's got a lot left to do, and so he's getting out there more. And he's like, have you seen the media press tours that he's been doing over the last few months? The dude's everywhere, promoting multiple movies at the same time. He's on podcasts. He's on the Joe Rogan show. That's wild.
Have you
That he's
seen
doing
any of
all.
those clips? Those are hilarious. Bill
They
Murray
are.
does not understand in the least what a podcast is. But
No.
it's like it's cute. It's like kind of old man cute, like, oh, grandpa. And that's what worries me. You could keep talking about all these tours. I hope we're not doing like a farewell tour.
Yeah, that would be it's dark to kind of potentially think in that light or in that vein, but without asking him directly, because that's something I probably would have thought of asking. I
Like, are
and
you okay?
just like, hey man, you're doing a lot. Did you have an epiphany? Did you have
Mhm.
not a bucket list, but I just feel like he's wanting to do things that he's never done before. And so he's doing a lot more movies. He's doing this concert thing. He's the press tours, he's doing a lot. He's really out there. So all that to say, if you get wind that Bill is headed to your neighborhood for any number of reasons, like, don't miss it. Don't let it go. Just take it while you can. Take advantage of it. And if you are at a concert with Bill, get on your feet, folks, from start to finish. He deserves it,
Or Steady's gonna come make you get on your feet.
or I will make you. And if you decide to fight me like Homeboy did,
Then I'll just pretend I can't hear you and run away.
oh my gosh.
Good job.
He was on The View the morning before the Austin concert. And then the weekend before the concert, he was in Japan sitting next to Jack White from the White Stripes watching an exhibition baseball game
I
between
saw
the
that.
Cubs and the Dodgers. So when I tell you that, like, he's doing everything right now, I really mean it. He's getting out there. He doesn't care. He's living his best life right now.
Good for
And
him.
yeah, absolutely. 100%. All right. That is definitely the end of this stream. I appreciate everybody who was in the chat. Um, Also appreciate my guest for the night, Jamie Hodges. Again, his Ghostbusters fan film Two in the Box drops May 16th on his YouTube page, Report All Ghosts, with an
All of
exclamation
them.
point. All capital letters, right?
Yeah.
And do not miss it. I'm sure we'll talk about it. We're going to promote the hell out of it when it drops. And I want to do something kind of special on the way out. But before I can do that, Jamie, any final words of wisdom for the audience, either regarding your fan film or the Virginia team?
Where's wisdom? I ain't got none of that. Not a lick of it. No, I'm just really, really excited to share it with people because that's like literally the reason that I do everything that I do. It's the reason that I'm here with you tonight. I love Ghostbusters, as a lot of people do, and I like to find fun new creative ways or stories to tell in which I can share that passion with the community, and that brings me all the joy in the world. So just tune in and watch it. Shut your brains off for a second. um, it's got action, it's got slime, and it's got more than a few jokes. So Two in the Box offers a little bit of something for everybody if you love Ghostbusters. So enjoy, and like Ted said earlier, if you need to, I will come back on and explain myself for all of the terrible things that I've done and have made you all watch. I apologize in advance, and if you get a chance, do also stop by Ghostbusters Virginia to not only check out their ongoing charity efforts, but also their current efforts with Proton Pets, as well as the other Ghostbusters fan film from my close friends and teammates, Don't Make Me Laugh. They've always got some cool stuff going on. I'm tired and I've been busy, so I have not been as active as some of the other incredible members of the group, but they're doing a great job over there. So go show them some support and tell them Report All Ghosts sent you. Then they'll probably send you away.
Whoop, jumped the gun on that one.
Found the video. That's
Jumped
the
the gun
out-
on that one.
This is the outro music. Play me off, Ted.
This is the outro music. Again, for anybody in the San Antonio area, we will see you this Saturday at the night parade, the Flambeau Parade. Go to Flambeau .org for more parade information, time it starts, locations, a route, and all that good stuff. We got some goodies we're going to give out to the crowd and some surprise activities while we're on the parade route. I can't say what it is, but it's something that we've been cooking up since last year. So I'm really excited about it. Again, follow the Ghostbusters SATX-San Antonio to find out when and where you can buy the final box or few medals from our Fiesta Medals charity drive that we've been participating in. And on the way out, I thought it'd be fitting if we actually get played off by the legend himself. So this is the final clip of the night from Bill's concert in Austin, Texas. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you to Bill for being so goddamn cool and giving us putting on a show. Nobody asked you to do it, but you went out there and you gave it your all, and you sang your heart out, and we appreciate every single second of it. And hopefully you can catch him on the final days of his tour. Go to Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers on Instagram to find out final dates. If you can't find any more dates, just message me online and I'll find them for you, because I do follow some of the band guys in the group. All right, that'll do it for us. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching the stream, and take it away, Bill.
You can turn your heartache right into joy. If she's the girl tonight, you're the boy. Come on, get it together. Come on, goddamn it, make it nice. You sure don't